What's the first thing I can do to get everybody as a whole, as a group, to do a little thing? I'm gonna do an ask that's gonna get everybody to say yes to that, and that'll be the very first ask, and then I'll go to the next and the next. Okay, so for those of you guys who had a chance to watch my presentation at 10X, what was the very first thing I did to build social compliance? Who here knows? I had everybody pull their phone out. I said, everybody pull your phone out, everyone get your thing, and suddenly within 30 seconds, I had 9,000 people in the room, all mirror and matching me, all with the same phone. And I asked them to do something, they said yes. I got people moving it around, and we were mirroring and matching, and everything was connected. Now I put it away, and I already had this connection immediately with the audience, where now we were connected. As opposed to, typically it's like, oh, there's this person on stage, they're very disconnected, and things like that. And so by doing that, I asked a little commitment, and then I asked for another commitment, and another commitment. By the time I got to the end, it wasn't crazy for me to ask for a commitment for them to go run and spend $3,000 for an account for ClickFunnels. Does that make sense? And so for all of you guys, you can weave these social compliance things into anything you're doing, right? Just think about in the last, how long have we been going? A day and a half here at Funnel Hacking Live. I've asked you guys to do a lot of things. We had you guys stand up, we had you sit down, we had you do different things, right? I'm trying to build a rapport so that you guys will be able to move with me, be able to connect with me, and move throughout the entire event. And so that's principle number one, is this insanely cool concept of social compliance and how to use it and weave it into all your presentations. And it works just as well like on a webinar.
So what's your number one goal as it relates to your finances and your wealth? If the topic's finance, if it's like, what's your number one goal as it relates to health? If it's losing weight, what's your number one goal as it relates to losing weight? If it's building a business, what's your number one goal as it relates to building this kind of business? And so you want to get into the goal question, and it doesn't need to be something that's very specific out of the gate. So I was just on the phone with one of my salespeople today and training him. He's like, the client didn't show up to the call with a goal, so like, they didn't have a goal. And I was like, yeah. So philosophically, the first thing you need to understand about doing one of these calls is people mostly don't have goals. They haven't spent time to sit down and think about them. So if you're waiting for the client to originate a goal without pulling it out of them, you're going to be waiting for time immemorial. It's going to be decades before you get anything. And so a lot of times people ask this question, they get nowhere because the client's like, well, I don't really know. I just kind of wanted to check this thing out. Or I don't really know. I just kind of wanted to do better financially, which is not really a goal, right? So you got to pull it out. So if the client's like, I want to do better financially, I'm like, great. So what does that mean for you to do better financially? Let's take a look at the next year. How would we know at the end of the year that you're doing better financially? So notice the specificity. I'm trying to get specific. How would we know? It's like, oh, well, I would be making more money. Great. And like, how much more money would that be in making in the stock market or through cryptocurrency? Oh, that would be like if I could make $100,000 more, like that would be a great win. Amazing. So you want to make $100,000 more? Yeah, great. So tell me, what would that $100,000 do for you? Like, how would it affect you personally? Oh, personally, I feel great. I feel like I'm winning and I'm accomplishing and like I'm going in the right direction. I feel like a sense of relief and freedom. Amazing. And what do you think that would do for your family? Like, what would that do for your family if you were to make $100,000 more? Oh, God, they'd be happy. Great. So what would it do for them? Oh, like we would take a vacation. My wife's been wanting to go to Hawaii, you know? And we would go to Hawaii. Oh, amazing. Like, you guys travel often? No, we don't really travel much. You know, we traveled once in the last 3 years. Okay, cool. So you go to Hawaii. How long would you stay? Oh, we'd stay for like 2 weeks. Amazing. You have kids? Yeah, I got kids. Would your kids go with you? Yeah. Great. What would that mean for your kids if you had $100,000 more? Oh, I could get my kid those basketball shoes that he wanted and that gear and sign him up for the league and blah, blah, blah. So now you're off to the races. And then what would that mean for you, like professionally? Oh, well, my job's this and I'm making good money, but like it's not great money. And so this would be like a huge win for me to go to my job more excited without attention on just making money. Okay, great. So now we've taken like a not know situation, which is the majority of people you'll talk to. Why don't they know? Because they're coming into an area that they don't know much about. So you're going to get a not know on the goal. Like what do you expect them to come and be like, my number one goal for this is to do ba, 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 ba. And I thought about this whole thing out. They're not going to come and do that. You might get 1% of the people that ever come and do that. So you pull it out of them. So philosophically, they're in a place of not know. They don't know what their goals are. They don't know why they're even showing up. You got to get them there and you got to pull it out. And that's an art of questioning and being curious and wanting to know. So you do it. You pull it out. Great. Now I have all these things about a client who is coming and thinking, I just want to make more money, who wants to make 100 grand, wants to make it in 12 months. It'll do this for the family, do this for vacation, do this for the kids, do this for the basketball league, do this. And all of a sudden you went from a nothing to this incredible vision of what this person wants to accomplish and what it means to their family. And at this point, I've got them sold on their goal. And my number one focus on the enrollment conversation is not to sell them on my product. My number one thing is to sell them on their goal. Sell them on that future that they are not sold on yet. And how could they ever be sold on a future when they don't know what the future looks like? So there's this element of you need to be curious, number one. And as I told my salesperson today, he's like, yeah, it took me like 20 minutes to get there. I'm like, good. There's this element of helping people. It's called care factor, right? You need to care and be patient and help people. That's the game. So in the enrollment conversation, you're taking care for the person. You want to help them. You're pulling out their goal. You're finding out what they want to accomplish because you care to help them. You're not getting to a goal for the sake of just getting to a goal that doesn't mean anything. I want the person at the end of that conversation on goals to be excited, to put a future there. And if I put a future there for the person about their personal life, their professional life, all these things, and I show them what's possible, and I'm putting a future there, guess what? They can then go create on something. There's something to create on. There's nothing to create on except problems if there's no future. So what do people do through the day? They create on problems. They create on problems because they're not putting a future there. You need to create a future. And if I did that, the enrollment in my training alone, which is already worth the value I gave them right there on the call. It's a free call, and I gave them more value in 45 minutes than they've gotten in the last, sometimes 45 years. Because who was last interested in their goal and what they wanted to accomplish? Who got them crystal clear about their future? Who integrated it with their whole family dynamics and life and showed them, hey, this is what your vision in life could be. The people who came before me, not even close. Not even close. Because very few people are trained on this kind of technology of asking questions to pull out the best in people. And when you have it, you're a cut above 99% of all the salespeople out there. And you've been on sales calls before, and you know this. And when you go to most of them, it's like 15 minutes on the pitch or 20 minutes on the pitch. It's like, great, what do you want, blah, 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 and they're done. This, when you pull it out, you get somebody vested in their goals and their future, and boom, it's game on. So now, once you have the goal and how it affects them personally, professionally, financially, spiritually, their purpose, all these things, their kids, then you move to the challenge. Great, what's in the way? What's the challenge of you getting to that goal? And notice how it's not like if somebody to me like came and they downloaded like something like I want to do a podcast. Great. Like I'm not asking about what's the challenge preventing you from doing the podcast. I'm asking what's the challenge that's preventing you from getting the goal. The podcast is a vehicle to get to this, this, and this, and this. So what's the challenge of you getting to this, this, and this? Well, I do want to do a podcast, but I also I don't know this, and I don't know this, and I don't know this, and this is in the way. And so there's all these other things in the way. And you want to be taking notes on what are all the other things. And then you want to isolate and go say, well, what do you think, out of all the things you said, what do you feel like the biggest challenge is? And they tell you. Like the person, if I'm doing finances, the person might be like, hey, my number one challenge, I think it's I really just don't I don't know anything about finance. I'm not educated on money. I don't understand how, create a plan. I don't understand the different vehicles are out there. What's the best? I just don't get it. Okay, got it. So your number one challenge is really you want to understand how different investments work to achieve your goal. Is that right? Yeah, I do, and I don't get it. Okay, cool. Sounds good. And there you've gotten something brilliant, you see? You now have somebody who knows their challenge that's preventing them from getting in their goal. And then finally, as you get through that, then you say, great, so what do you think it's costing you not to achieve your number one goal? What's it costing you not to have the knowledge and investments and the knowledge about this and that? What's it costing you not to have that? And what's it costing you in relation to not getting your number one goal? And they're like, oh, you know what? It's costing me probably millions. If I learned this 10 years ago, I'd probably not be focused on $100,000 this year. I'd be focused on millions. Wow, amazing. And you just get it. And what else is it costing you? What do you think it's costing you for your family? It's just a lot of stress in the family. Everybody's worried and concerned. And we're just not getting ahead. Got it. What else do you think it's costing you? Well, my kids, they want to join all these leagues. We don't have the money to do them. So it's costing family fulfillment, blah, blah, blah. In terms of a dollar amount, what would you put on that? Well, I already said it's probably costing me millions. Cool. And then on a scale of 1 to 10, your commitment level to achieve that goal, of like getting to that goal, and then you repeat it back, of like making sure that you make that $100,000 in investments, making sure that you understand and you're knowledgeable about investments, making sure that your kid can join the basketball leagues, that you can take that to a vacation to Hawaii, that you can go to work without a lot of stress, that you can feel like you're enjoying yourself because you're winning again. Like, on a scale of 1 to 10, how committed are you to getting that? Oh, I'm about a 7. Oh, okay, got it. So like, understood. So I just want to know, like, what would have you be at a 7 on this? Sounds like you're super excited about it. Is it just the fact that you don't know and you're not confident about it? Yeah, that's it. Great. So let's assume like I'm going to help you at the end, and I'm going to present to you at the end like an opportunity to work with me and coach with me and create a plan for you. So let's assume we were able to do all that for you, and like the knowledge was there. Like, how committed are you on achieving your goals? Oh, I'm a 10 then. I'm a 10. Yeah, I definitely want my goals. Great. Or if they say, yeah, I'm just an 8. I'm not really sure how important this is to me. Okay, great. So let's explore that a little bit. Like, for your family, for this, don't you think you should be at a 10 for this? Yeah, I guess I should, right? So what has you being at 8? I just like, I don't know. I don't know that I want to make a commitment to working with you at this point. And doing this because there's probably going to be an investment with you. I get it, but like, we're just talking about commitment to your goals. You know, I may be a fit for you, I may not be a fit for you, but this is just about your commitment to your goals. So are you committed to your goals at a 10? Yes, I am. Great. Let's continue. All right, quick pause. So if you're liking this and you want help applying it to your business, just click the link down below and you can book a free strategy call with one of my consultants. And these exact systems I'm sharing with you today, we've helped thousands apply them to their business. Let's get back to it. Okay? Then you get in and you just go, great. So now I know your number one goal. I know your challenge is this. I know it's costing you this. I know your commitment level is this. So would you like a solution? Yeah, I would like a solution. Great. So what I'd like to do is walk you through my Message to Millions system, or I'd like to walk you through my Stage Empire Mastermind, or I'd like to walk you, whatever your training is. I'd like to walk you through the XYZ system. And then they're like, great. And so the XYZ system that I've created, so let me first tell you just like the structure of how we deliver it. Like, first and foremost, it's like, I'm going to deliver it over 10 weeks with you. And you're going to be in group calls with me for 10 weeks. The second thing is we're going to record the calls so you can go back and listen to them. The third thing is, at the end of the 10 weeks, you're going to get a couple days where you come with me in a group in kind of like a workshop format. We call it a mastermind, where we're going to go over the material again, and then we're going to go deeper into more advanced topics. Make sense? So that's kind of how it is. And they're like, oh yeah, great. So group coaching, this spot. Okay, cool. Great. So let's just get into the XYZ system that I created. So step 1 of the system is the first thing that I want to cover with you. So step 1 of the system is like the 3 superior investment vehicles. I'm just making this up, right? So step 1 is the 3 superior investment vehicles. So the challenge that I see you having is that right now you don't know what investment vehicles to choose, and you're in some investments that you don't know much about, and you want to get to 100K. So how do you think the 3 superior investment vehicles would help you achieve your number one goal? And then they tell you, and you're like, amazing, great. And they might say like, oh, I think it would be good. And if they say I think it would be good, they're really not listening. It's like, wait, how specifically would these three superior investment vehicles help you achieve your number one goal? Oh my God. I would then have some investment vehicles that are good. And like, I think it would be amazing because I would have things that I think could get me to my $100,000 goal. And I would then know something about it. I would feel more confident about it. And I think I would like have knowledge and I feel more power. Great. Amazing. So now they gave me a real answer. Make sense? If somebody just goes, yeah, you know they're not listening because you didn't ask like yes or no question. You asked, how do you think it would help you achieve your number one goal? So this part is never a do you think this would help you accomplish your number one goal? You never ask that. You always ask how, because how will give you a real answer. And the whole goal of step 1 is you link your step in your training to their number one goal. And so now they are selling themselves again on their goal, but they're selling themselves on why your step will help them achieve their goals. So they're doing the selling. Then you go to step 2. Yeah, so step 2 is I'm going to show you how to analyze the rate of return on all of your money. So we're going to take into account like your taxes, your debt, your inflation, like the amount of money printing that goes on in the world, the lack of access and liquidity that you have to your money. Like, we're going to take a look at all the things that are restricting you, and I'm going to show you the rate of return on all your money. And when most clients look at it, the rate of return on all their money is really closer to 2%, not 10%. So how do you think like that would help you solve your biggest challenge? Like, man, my rate of return is really 2%. I'd like to see that, you know? Because like we have a challenge of like right now we feel like we're in debt and we're not keeping up. And even though I think our investments are doing 8 to 2%, we don't feel like we're getting ahead. So how do you think that would solve your challenge? Oh, I think it would be amazing. Like, I'd love to know something that could help me do better than 10%. That'd be crazy. You know, I'd love to know the rate of return on all my money and see where I'm actually at, because I'm confused and I don't even know. Great. So that's step 2. And then we go to step 3, same thing. And then I go, great. So steps 4, 5, 6, and 7 is like really I like summarize it. I don't want to go through all the steps, because if I go through all the steps like this, it'll take forever. The client's going to glaze over. So the first 3 steps are always the non-negotiables of boom, boom, boom. After step number 3, I could be like, hey, do you see if we just did step 1 and 2 and we helped you with this? Do you see how this would be like, this alone would be worth the investment of working with me? Well, I don't know what the investment is yet. I totally get it. But just step 1 and 2, do you see what it's costing you? Do you see the challenge? Do you see how this would help you achieve? Yeah, it's amazing. I would love to know that. Great. So we have steps 1, 2, and 3, step 4, step 5, step 6, step 7. Basically, in these 4 steps, the holistic concept of what we're doing is this. So like in my Message to Millions training, I'll say steps 4, 5, 6, and 7 are their marketing. Like if you want to get clients online through marketing, that's what it is. Steps 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Steps 1, 2, 3 are the non-negotiables. You have to have this. Like steps 4, 5, 6, and 7 aren't going to work unless you get these 3, and you're missing these 3. We need to focus on this. When am I going to learn steps 4, 5, and 6, 7? Hey, when you come to the mastermind, you know, at the end of the training, as we get through these first 3, when you come to the mastermind, we're going to go deep into this marketing piece. So we're going to train you on it. You're going to learn about it. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, cool. Great. So here's what I'd like to do. The first thing is, in looking at this, do you actually see like, if I was just to help you with step 1 and 2, like, what do you think the value of something like this would be for you? Oh my God, like, I think this could help me get to my 100 grand. And maybe if it doesn't help me get there this year, it'll help me get there in the next 5 years. And I'm certainly not getting there now. Great. So like, you could see just how steps 1 and 2 could be worth $100,000 to somebody. I always, when I'm sitting there with my clients, some people who have built up some wealth, I'm like, even just steps 1 or 2, like, it's probably worth $1 million to you. If you're just kind of getting in the game and you don't really know much on this at all, and you're kind of in traditional stuff and you feel like you're kind of getting ahead, but barely, like, it's probably worth at least $100K. Okay, now that's the value. Now I'm not going to ask you to invest $100,000 today, but you can see the value of like, what's this worth for your family and your kids and your peace of mind and all this stuff. Like, just knowing these first 2 is priceless. They're like, yeah, I guess it is. Great. So whole training today that I went through, remember, we're going to do it through group coaching. We're going to do it in a mastermind, 2 days at the end, where you're going to learn step 4, 5, 6, and 7. And then ultimately, like, you told me this is going to help you with this, this, and this. Is that still true? They're like, yeah, great. So let me tell you what the investment in the training is today. So the investment is not $100,000. The investment in the training today is $17,000. They're like, oh, wow, okay, 17 grand. Yeah, and here's the thing. So what I'm going to do for you today on the call, we're going to do a fast action pricing on the call today. So instead of $17,000, the investment is going to be $13,999. Sound good? And they're like, yeah, well, maybe. I'm like, great. So are you ready to do this? And so there's my closing thing of like, sound good? Yeah, it does sound good. I'm not asking, is the pricing good? Or I'm not asking, is it a lot? Does it sound good? Yeah. Okay, great. Are you ready to do this? And I want to get, boom, I'm done. Are you ready to do this? Done. And I wait. And then you can expect sometimes, and this happens more often, this happens quite a bit, okay? I wouldn't say this is the majority response, but I say 30% of the time it's like this. Yes, I'm ready. Because the enrollment conversation was so damn good, they're just like, yes. So if you're serious about scaling your business online and you want help with my one-to-many selling method to sell on podcasts or webinars or virtual stages or in person, then click the link down below and book a free strategy call. My coaches will help you implement it. We've worked with over 30,000 businesses on these very same strategies. Click it down below and go book. See you soon.